Hello, and welcome to the Laney Photo Department's short video on the seamless sweep. You have received a gearbox, you've received seamless, but you don't have any stands. First of all, we got to find a way to hang that seamless. We need a stick. Here you see garden stakes, you see a shower curtain, you see brooms. You can unscrew a broom handle from a broom and use that. Or you can use a stick. That's a stick. Just like a stick. It just has to be longer than the 36 inches. Usually 42 inches is good. All right? We're working with seamless paper. Seamless paper is notoriously awful to work with. It wrinkles, it doesn't tear the way you want it to tear. No, it's a nightmare. But a lot of that is a function of big pieces of paper. And when you're working with 9 and 12 footers, they wrinkle and crease very easily. Ours are only 3 feet wide. And so we're going to get a lot more out of our seamless here. In any event, you can see how nice these are rolled up together, right? And you've got a piece of tape here. See that little handle there? That's something I teach all my assistants. Put that handle there, and here's why. We roll that seamless along, and this piece of tape goes from this solid area over this overlap. Now the paper is going in this direction, right? And this is an overlap. If you were to tear from here, you might tear this paper. People do it all the time. Next time you're in the studio, just look. But if we pull it up this way, the paper's going this way, the tag takes you up this way, it leaves no mark. It makes no tears. Seamless paper is gorgeous in terms of its color. In this size, it is incredibly convenient. But the most important thing that seamless does, regardless of its size, is it creates a uniform background. And the background that we are going to make is called a sweep. And this sweep can be done just about anywhere. Nobody knows where you're doing this. This can be in your kitchen, it can be in your shed, in your bathroom, it can be on your vanity, in your bedroom, or on your dresser. It can be anywhere. Nobody is going to know because all they're going to see is the beautiful sweep of color from the seamless. Well, let's unroll that a little bit, and you can see here, we have a bunch of layers of paper. You guys have 4 or 5, I don't know, layers of paper, different colors, but you all have this storm gray, neutral tone, great for custom color balance. It's so convenient. But what I'm showing you here is how much curl this has. The white paper has quite a bit of body, but the 4 others have their own body too. And if you just let it do what it wants to do, that's what it's going to do. You can see how it all curls up like that, right? So in any event, I'm showing you this on stands. You're not using stands, but the point is this displays what the paper wants to do. So we don't have any stands, so we go into the spare room and you see this huge dresser, and we pick this drawer right here and we pull it out 8 inches. Huh? Drawer, 8 inches. 10 inches, 9 inches. And we lay the paper in there. And we open up the tag and we pull out 2-3 feet of paper. And you may have to put a little bit of weight on this just to keep it in place. You pull out the paper and you lay it on the floor here. And this is a placa. This is a cast iron thing I use to heat tortillas. But to hold it down. Here's a little higher view of it, and you can start to see the sweep. And I need to hold the corners down. I use the larger soup cans. They have more water in them and more weight. And my goal here is to only use the things that you might have. I'm going to use the same gearbox that you're using, and then the other stuff I have around the house is pretty much what you might have around the house. Okay? This is a top front view of that. And I just want you to notice how nicely and how broad and how smooth this is. I mean, look at this. This is just wonderful. All right. Now, I'm just using window light. You can see the windows behind me, and you can see me standing here. Hello, how are you? But the point is, when you go in and take the shot that you showed up to shoot, you have no idea where this is. And you have created a beautiful background. All you do is apply light. In this case, the windows. You see, there's me. Hi, here we are. Okay. But let's go do another one. We're going to work in pretty much the same place. But this time, we are going to hang the stick and the paper from string. Now, I hope that you guys have some form of string. I went out and bought a new ball of twine because I ran out of mine. But you can use yarn, you can use kite string, you can use window sash, you can use all kinds of stuff to hang this. And you just tie it at this end and you tie it at the other end. All right? And then you pull the paper out and you make your sweep. Now, when we get to another picture, you'll see we're up a little bit, and you can see how this is laid out. And these strings are just hooked onto these knobs up here. And in order to make it level, you just pull one string and the other, and it makes it level. Piece of cake. It's really, really easy. It's very inexpensive. This is a crummy old piece of PVC that's been sitting next to my shed outdoors forever. But it just happened to be the perfect length. You know, and I don't know, you know, if you have a house, if you had a house for a long time, you got stuff like this all over the place. You have an apartment or a studio, you may not have this kind of stuff lying around. But like I say, you can take a broom apart, unscrew the handle, and you can use it for your stick. And I am not beyond dumpster diving. This is about being resourceful, you guys. This is one of the things that doesn't get taught in photo programs, is that clever resourcefulness, making a silk purse out of a sow's ear. What my friend David Campbell used to say, chicken salad out of chicken shit. And you just figure out a way to do it. You look around and see what you can see to make the sets that you need to make the effect that you need to make. String, a stick, $50 worth of seamless paper. Here's straight on. See the string? Huh? See how nice this is? I don't know what that line is. Could be the lump from hanging it over the drawer before, but as you roll this up, that will smooth out. But here's the other deal. Yet again, with the window light, you're coming close. Ta-da! There you are. Nobody knows where this is. Nobody has any idea where this is. This sweep makes a studio wherever it is set up. Beautiful, clean. But note this contamination here. See, this is beautiful and neutral, but this is contaminated by the light that's bouncing off of here. Just saying. How we manage that, I don't know. Different video. Now, this is one of the ones that I like, maybe the best. And I cheated here. See, this is a sandbag. You got to hold this in place somehow. Now, you could probably tie this string back here or something like that to hold it in place to keep it from moving. I was getting tired. I just threw a sandbag out there. I cheated. But you could use bags of rice or pinto beans. Work really, really well. But I'm out of rice. But you can see, here's the basic idea. La zoom, isn't that beautiful? And this is just sitting on the ottoman. I don't know if you got an ottoman. But you could have two kitchen chairs. Our kitchen chairs are really tall, so it didn't work. But two kitchen chairs. One here to hold this end. One on the other side to hold that in. Pull it out. Bob's your uncle. You've got a sweep. Just look around. You can see how this works. And here's a taller angle. Just so you can see the nature of the sweep. Again, apologies for cheating, but I was tired. Now, here's the next one. You see, we kept our string on there, and I just hung it from the chair rail. Now, not everybody got a chair rail, but that's not the point. This could be hanging from 2 nails on a windowsill, 2 heavy tacks on a windowsill. I don't know what your walls are made out of. If they're made out of plaster, you don't want to nail anything in there. But if they are, drywall, you can shove pins in there, heavy pins, and maybe get this to hang. It might pull it out. You can also go over to your window where you have curtains and run those strings all the way up to the curtain rods and hang it from the curtain rods. That's another thing that you could do. All right? There are a lot of ways to do this. In any event, we don't have stands, but we've hung it up and we've made this lovely sweep. It's a little flat in here. Maybe I should let more paper out. But the point is, this is without any stands. Notice the clamps? Holding the paper down, holding it in place. Now see this? More clamps. That's why you guys have clamps. That's why we gave you clamps. So you'd have the possibility, at least the possibility of doing this. Okay? And then we'll back off and you can see, that's the library, we call it, full of Audrey's toys. And you can see exactly how it's set up. See these nails? I own the house, so I can drive nails wherever I want. But those are not seen. Okay? Look at that, nice, even. But now, here is the bomb. You guys have the Impact Qualite LED light. And that's the direction that we're moving in. Photo 71 is about learning to use the camera all the way to manual, learning to use the computer in Lightroom to sort, edit, amend, brighten, darken, all those things, and then you can export them. 70, we start early on and we use the cameras again because that's how you learn to use the camera. You're not a pro when you walk out of 71, but we do all of our exercises about color and shutter speed and depth of field to kind of build our chops back up. But the most important thing we do is we're learning to deal with the light that is handed to us. Sunlight, shade light, shadow light, ambient light. What do we do with it? How strong is it? What are the camera settings? How do we get really good color in that light? But, and this is the pivot point, in Photo 74, once we get it going, we start using artificial light. And the second 2/3 of this course is all about how do we manage the light that we apply. We are now applying light to our sets. We're not at the mercy of the sun or the clouds or the light that's in the auditorium or whatever's in the room. We are applying light with purpose because without this light, we would be in the dark. We put this light in this rough position. It's just a rough thing, about a 45-degree angle, about a 45-degree angle. I don't even remember how high I had this thing turned up. But I did squeeze the barn doors closed a bit for a little bit more dramatic effect. And look at this. Look what happens to the background. Now we might clean this up a bit, but the point is that you can control the light with the barn door. You can get good color. Look at this color. Look at how neutral this is. This is a better look at the set. It's just the living room. And the other thing I want to show you about this, I'm going to go back to this slide. This particular set is put in a place that is out of traffic. All the traffic goes right along here. This is just the middle of the room. So I could leave this set up all day and not have any trouble until my granddaughter comes and wants to play. But nonetheless, it gives you a little peace, a little dedicated space. And you can work, and you can fuss, and you can adjust the lights, and you're not rushed. The home studio is in your hands. I'm looking forward to you guys doing this. I want to encourage you to be patient with this. This all takes time. You could make your first set in maybe 2 hours. Who knows where the nails are, or where you're going to hang them, or where your stick is, or where your string is. There's some work to be done, what they call pre-production work to be done. But once you get that nailed down, and once you figure out where you're going to put your set, all of a sudden, this becomes a little bit more automatic. And then you can start working on your vision, your creation, what it is that you want to see. The home studio is in your hands. Thank you for your kind attention.